So today we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for a lot of people, dealing with toxic personalities and figuring out when it's time to walk away.
Yeah, it's one of those things most of us encounter at some point. Whether it's a manipulative coworker or a critical family member, it can be draining.
Totally. Let's start with the basics. What even defines a toxic personality? I mean, not every annoying person is toxic, right?
Exactly. It's more than just being irritating. Toxic people often manipulate, guilt trip, or constantly criticize, and they rarely take responsibility for how they affect others.
Like that friend who always plays the victim. Every single conversation somehow turns into their personal soap opera.
Right? Or the colleague who throws you under the bus just to look good. It's that pattern of harm and the emotional toll it takes.
So once you recognize those traits, what's the move? Especially if it's someone you can't just cut off, like family?
Boundaries are huge. It sounds basic, but saying I'm not okay with that and actually sticking to it can change everything.
But that's easier said than done. What if it's, say, a parent who's always been controlling?
Start small. Limit how much time you spend together or steer conversations away from hot topics. You don't owe anyone full access to your peace.
Preach. And it's okay to be less available, even if that feels like guilt city at first.
Guilt's part of it, especially with family. But guilt isn't a compass. It doesn't always point to what's right, just what's familiar.
Wow, that hits. What about marriage? That's a tougher nut to crack.
Definitely. Toxic marriage dynamics, like gaslighting or control, can be subtle but dangerous. Communication helps, but only if it's safe to speak up.
And if it's not?
Then safety comes first. That might mean building financial independence or reaching out to a therapist or hotline. You don't have to handle it alone.
Let's talk about work. Office toxicity is so common. Bosses who micromanage, teammates who sabotage.
Yeah, in those cases, professionalism is your shield. Keep things factual, document incidents, and don't be afraid to bring HR into the loop if needed.
That can feel risky, though. Like, what if they retaliate?
It's a real fear. That's why having allies at work matters. And knowing your rights. Labor laws are there for a reason.
Okay, so let's say none of that works. When do you actually walk away?
When your health, safety, or sense of self is at stake. If every boundary you set gets trampled, it might be time for a big change. Divorce, going no contact, switching jobs.
That's massive. How do you even begin planning something like that?
Quietly and carefully. Save money, talk to a lawyer if needed, line up a new job or a safe place to stay. And tell someone you trust.
It's not just about leaving. It's about preparing for the life after.
Exactly. Because once you're out, that's when the real healing starts. Therapy, new routines, supportive people, it's all part of rebuilding.
And there will be challenges, grief, loneliness, judgment from others.
But you get to choose you. That's the ultimate win.
So whether it's setting firm boundaries or making a clean break, the point is, you don't have to stay in places that poison your spirit.
And if you're listening right now and nodding your head, maybe this is your sign to start choosing peace.
We'll leave you with this. What would your life look like if you put your well-being first? Think about that.